I ran 1 mile without stopping. And I asked one of my friends, he was my classmate at the time, and he did long distance running. I asked him, if I run 1 mile 5 days a week, does that make me a runner? And he told me yes. So then I got all excited. I thought, oh, I'm a runner now.
I'd like to welcome everybody from Team OLA. I am here with Zoe Pease from South Dakota. Welcome, Zoe. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Zoe Pease. I'm from South Dakota, originally lived here my whole life. And I'm going to be coming out to Chicago to run the impromptu marathon since the full one's been canceled.
Well, welcome. And I like the fact that you call it the impromptu. So that
Impromptu,
our socially distanced marathon.
yes.
Zoe, help me understand how you're from South Dakota, so
Hmm.
it's a little ways from Chicago.
Yes.
I know two people from South Dakota. Any chance you know them? Cassie and Becca.
Yes, those are my big sisters, so I know them quite well. So
Oh,
they are the reason that I'm deciding to come out there anyway. So I already had the flights booked. I had to change them around a little bit, but I've got a pretty flexible place to stay. So I thought, I might as well go out there and, run a marathon just for fun. Why not?
so tell me about your history as a runner. And what's your history been, and have you done marathons before?
Okay, so I started running a little over 2 years ago. I started running consistently fall, winter 2017 in college. It was my senior year of college. Um, I had a good friend in college, and that good friend transferred. So I had a little bit more time on my hands, and I went back to waking up early and taking advantage of the gym. So I started as a treadmill runner, which I don't do anymore. I haven't gotten on a treadmill in a while, but I started as a treadmill runner because I feel like that's a little bit safe. You could stop whenever you want, you're not stuck out somewhere. So for the first time that year, I ran 1 mile without stopping. And I asked one of my friends, he was my classmate at the time, and he did long distance running. I asked him, if I run 1 mile 5 days a week, does that make me a runner? And he told me yes. So then I got all excited. I thought, oh, I'm a runner now. Then the next milestone was 2 miles without stopping on a treadmill. And then, what was my next milestone? I wanted to get to 5 miles without stopping on a treadmill. And I did that winter. And then I got to 6 eventually. And at that point, I talked to a good longtime friend of mine. His name is Father Tim, and he has been a marathon runner for years. I knew him before he was Father Tim when he was a seminarian. And I told him about that, and he is just a very excited and encouraging person. And he asked me, well, how did you feel after you did that? How did you feel after you ran 6 miles on a treadmill? And I said, I felt amazing. I felt on top of the world. And he looked at me and he said, Zoe, you're going to be a distance runner. You need to sign up for a half marathon. And this is around like New Year's Eve time. Yeah, and he was telling me to sign up for the Sioux Falls half marathon, which is close to where I live. I was living in Sioux Falls at the time. And I thought, really? You think I could train for that? It's a long way. And he said, yep, absolutely. Sign up for it. You're going to do it. And then as the weather got nicer, I started running outdoors more. There was this one day I set out to run 6 miles because that was my record. That was the longest I'd gone. And it was a very nice spring day. And I remember I got to 6 miles and I decided I was going to run a little bit more. I was going to do 7. I was going to break my record. And then I got lost and I ended up clocking in 10 miles that day because I got lost and I went down the wrong trail. And I remember after that, I messaged him on Facebook and I said, guess what, Father Tim, this is what I did. Am I crazy, or do you think I can do a full marathon in September? I think this was in April when I had run the 10 miles. And he said, absolutely, yes, you can. And that's what I did last year. I ran my first marathon.
Oh, that's amazing. A great
Yeah.
story. So you've also, I understand a marathon wasn't good enough for you, so you went the
No.
extra distance. So tell me more about that.
So before 2020, started going downhill. I had signed up for a race in May, an ultra marathon. So it was a 50 kilometer, which comes out to about 31, a little over 31 miles. And I had signed up for that because my friend that I had graduated college with, his girlfriend, was creating this new race out in Minnesota. So it was at a state park. And I thought a marathon went really well. I love long distance. I like the challenge. So I'm going to see if I can do 50 kilometers. And that got canceled. But I decided I wanted to do it anyway. So my birthday is right at the end of May. So for my birthday weekend, I decided what I wanted to do is run the 50 kilometers on my own outside my house along some dirt roads. So I have like a 7 mile rectangle that I was running on for training. So I just did a little bit extra, and then I ran that 7 mile rectangle, and four of my sisters and my brother were able to be there. And so they were my encouragement and my aid station. They had water ready for me each loop I came back. They had new signs written out for me. They were cheering me on. At one point, they ran up to come get me and then ran with me back on that section. And there's no way I would have done that without them. That was hard. I think maybe for now I'm satisfied at 50 kilometers. That was hard. But it was a great experience, and it was a great birthday. Great way to spend my birthday.
Oh, well, that's a pretty cool story as
Thank
far as
you.
the marathoning and the extra little extra. Well, we have a race for you in Bartlett that we're getting ready for, so
Okay.
we'll have to keep in mind whether or not how we put people out there on the course for you and what we do to keep you motivated in that 26 miles. Um, how has COVID affected you? And what's going on in your world because of it or as a result of it?
So because I live in a state with a lower population, I live in a pretty rural area. I would say I don't have it half as bad as most of the country. But I do work in healthcare. I work as a physical therapist assistant. And I think with running, that's really helped me. Like I said, I started running when I was in college, when I was in school. And I think being in more of like a clinical injury prevention mindset has helped me a lot with training.
Mhm.
Um, in my line of work, though, because I work in, I guess, what you would call an ancillary healthcare profession, physical therapy is not an urgent thing. There was a time back in the spring, kind of in the beginning, where we lost a lot of business, and we were wondering if we were going to be shut down. There were a couple layoffs. I was full-time, so I was kept on, and I was told that I would be kept on as long as my boss could keep me on. But I work for a private practice, so I don't have the advantage of working for a large hospital or large corporation like that. So my hours got cut to about 30 hours a week typically, and it was very, it was very sparse. During that time, I was making a lot of masks because I also sew in my free time. So my boss had asked me about masks. She knows that I sew. So I had come up with my mask design, which I think is pretty good. I mean, I'm partial, I'm biased. I designed it, but I think my mask design is pretty good. So I was making pattern duplicates, and she was getting uh, women to volunteer and sew masks for our clinic so that we could stay open and keep people coming in and keep them, you know,
Yeah.
safe and feeling safe. And yeah, we were able to give out, I don't know what the number was, but we were able to give out a lot of masks for free to our patients. And
Very nice.
that was something that really helped me focus my mind. Mask sewing as well as running really kind of kept my anxiety down during that time. But it it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was quite scared in the beginning of all this because we really didn't know how bad it was gonna be. I think especially working in healthcare and working with elderly people, there's just that added layer of, oh my goodness, like, am I a carrier? Am I infecting this person? And
Yeah. The safety of it.
the safety of it all. Yeah. Not for myself, but more for my patients.
Yes. So we're excited about the marathon. Any goals for the marathon? Anything you want to accomplish while you're out here in Chicago running on the streets of Bartlett?
I just want to finish. I'm not a real speedy runner. And I think that's probably why I went to long distance pretty early on in my running journey. I really like long distance. Um, I just like the journey of it.
Yeah.
I like traveling a long distance on my feet and getting to the end of it and having that sense of accomplishment for how far my feet have been able to take me.
But you're actually faster than you're letting on to everybody because
Oh,
you're 441, right? Is that fair in your first?
yeah, 441.55, closer to 442. But yeah, that
That's
was.
respectable for a first marathon. That's very respectable.
Oh, thank you. I think my height kind of helps me out. So, well, I'll take the compliment. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you. We're looking forward to everybody getting together in Bartlett, socially distanced and all
Hmm.
the elements. And we're mapping out a great course for you. If you can, sooner or later, we're going to get a bike out there. We're going to be GoProing the course for you.
Oh, that'll be fun.
You can see it ahead of time if you'd like,
Okay.
and start to visualize. But it's a pretty good course from a streets and prairie style kind of
Okay.
reserve type thing. It'll be really nice.
Hmm.
Well, we're looking forward to you coming, and I can't wait for folks to really help contribute to the mission this year. So thank you, Zoe.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.